Raphael, you said that the manosphere exploits male pain, and by extension, I suppose you would say Andrew exploits male pain, but offers no real healing. Can you just specify how, I guess?
Yeah, so a lot of Andrew's rhetoric and content that he pushes is basically, again, demonizing women, demonizing feminism, which makes a lot of the men less willing to date women. And that's why a lot of people in the red pill community are not dating women, because they actively see them as adversaries. They actively see them as the enemy. And I think a lot of red pill community pushes that message.
Just one clarifying question.
Yeah.
Even if that is what he was doing, can you just for the prompt, can you just explain how he's exploiting male pain?
Yeah, so I think the more riled up and angry that the audiences are, the more money people make. That's how I think that's the exploitation.
I make the most amount of money during chill streams.
Okay, but it's normally angry men that follow these podcasts.
Well, I thought you just said the angrier they are, the more money I make.
Right.
Okay.
Because keeping them angry, they're going to stay around longer.
Okay. So let's. Do you think that like Joe Rogan, for instance, that he makes all of his money off of angry men?
Not necessarily, but I'm not talking about Joe.
Well, I thought you just said that you make more money if the audience is angry.
The red pill community.
Oh, it's specific to the red pill. Okay. So just to make sure that I got this right, I'm doing this.
I think you are. I think Fresh and Fit are.
Yeah, but let's just start with me because I'm here.
Okay.
So what am I doing that's riling up men and making them upset?
You continue to demonize women, and that gets your audience excited.
Do I demonize women or do I demonize feminists?
Both.
Okay, how do I demonize women?
You say some pretty nasty things about them, and I've watched a lot of your podcasts, and if you're going to deny it, that's fine, but...
Okay, so I'm not going to deny that I crack jokes sometimes at the expense of women.
Just like rape is a joke.
At the expense of women, that's true, right? But no, I really don't demonize women as a group.
Do you call women a lot of names on your podcast?
I call usually a woman.
No, you call groups of women names.
So, like feminists, yes.
No, that's not a name. That's not a derogatory name, at least.
It is to me.
Well, of course it is. Because you hate feminism and you continue to demonize it, and you continue to demonize women, and you continue to demonize women on your podcast, just like Fresh and Fit, just like Andrew Tate.
Do you think if men agree with me about the ideas that I have, right, that they want to date feminists?
I don't think they want to date women.
Yeah, they definitely want to date women.
They're not.
And they're married. A lot of them are married.
Maybe on your individual channel, but not on this podcast.
How am I riling up fuck a bunch of men to not get married when they're married?
You also come here. This is a bigger audience in your channel.
Yeah, and guess where they move? To my channel.
Yeah, the angry men continue to move over to your channel.
Oh, okay. Where all the married men are.
Not all the married men.
Yeah, that's where. Listen.
Show me the breakdown of people. Show me the breakdown of people in your podcast that are married.
I bet you right now you're about to see a massive sound off of people.
I would love to see it. All married people.
Switch over to the live chat. Watch this.
Follow in the chat.
Yeah, put it up.
We could do a poll. Let's see if there's a...
Now, this would be the whatever sample, though. But we could do it on the Crucible, and I guarantee you.
I also don't necessarily think that your poll is going to be accurate, but go for it.
Well, I agree. Literally, I do agree with that. But the thing is like, YouTube has much better breakdowns.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah, if you had asked me, I would have actually sent that before the debate.
But that's what I'm saying. I think Fresh and Fit has that breakdown. I think this podcast has that breakdown. I think Andrew Tate has that breakdown. And I can tell you they're probably not married people.
Yeah, I demonize mostly feminists.
You demonize women, too. You call women all kinds of names. I've heard it myself, especially on your own solo podcast.
Then why is it, though, that I have so many female followers?
You have so many.
I actually do, yeah.
What's the percentage?
About 10% for my channel.
Whoa.
Do you know that YouTube is male dominant?
Red pill's male dominant.
No. YouTube. So TikTok is female dominant.
Okay.
It's like, I think 70% women.
Okay.
Right? YouTube, male dominant.
Okay.
Having a channel, right? Like most women's audience is men on YouTube. Okay. The fact that I have so many female followers is actually not common for a male podcaster. It's actually not common.
Well, good for you. But I'm saying that most of the red pill community is not that way.
Okay, but who are we talking about?
I'm talking about the red pill community.
Yeah, what am I doing, though, to exacerbate this problem of men hating women?
I've already explained that.
Yeah, not really. You just say sometimes I crack jokes about them.
I didn't say anything about jokes. You said jokes. Yeah. I said you demonize women.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing, too. I crack jokes about Mexicans.
Yeah.
Am I demonizing?
Your audience could be pretty racist.
Am I
too.
demonizing
Your
them?
audience could be pretty racist
Am I
too. I encountered them firsthand
Yeah.
on our first debate.
Am I demonizing them? Mexicans?
Well, if you're riling up hate for Mexicans in your chat, then yes.
Because I got a lot of Mexicans in my chat.
Okay, good.
But if I'm making Mexican jokes,
I
then
didn't say jokes.
Yeah.
You keep saying jokes.
Yeah, because
no
they're
one else is
jokes.
saying jokes.
They're literally jokes.
They're literally jokes.
Tell me anything I've said about women broadly.
Think
that
of a
isn't
name.
joke.
Think of a name you possibly have called women. Think of any name you possibly have called a large group of women. Just think about it.
a large group or all women.
Was there
general.
is there a comma after large? Like, are you
What do you
saying
mean?
I'm saying
large women?
No.
What? What's the word?
I'm saying women as a whole, as a generalization.
What?
I'm asking if you've done it.
I mean, nothing comes to mind.
Okay. Well, I don't
Where
think
I've
this-
said what?
I just don't think this is in good faith.
Well, why don't you say what you?
Yeah.
think
What?
he
What did I
said?
say?
I mean, you call them sluts. You call them.
No.
Oh, yes, you do.
No.
Oh, yes, you do.
No. In fact, slut is not a word I say often. I'll call individual women skanks.
Okay.
I don't actually say slut.
Oh, skanks. It's such a funny joke.
Yeah, and no. That's not a joke to call an individual woman a skank.
You don't do it individually.
Yeah, I do
Andrew. No,
when I
you
say
don't.
skank.
I've
Yes, I
seen
do.
Your show.
Then give me one time.
did.
Okay, what?
I said you call them sluts.
I don't.
Okay.
So I say all women are sluts?
You've said it before.
It's never happened.
I didn't say all women. I'm saying sluts. You just say sluts.
Saying the word
These
sluts.
are sluts.
So if there's two women and they both fucked 100 dudes, I can't say they're sluts?
Sure.
How is that demonizing women?
Is it saying nice things about women?
No, it's saying mean things about those two people.
It's not talking about two people, Andrew. You generalize.
there's two-
you generalize about women so much, and the fact that you won't even
Then
admit
you're
it is
generalizing
sad.
about, bro. You're generalizing
generalize
about,
about
men, then.
women
You're
so
calling
much,
them incels,
and so do-
Why are you calling men incels?
I have studies that back up that they're incels.
Oh, you have. So do I need a study to back up that a chick who's banged 100 dudes is a slut?
No, you're talking about
No.
one person, but you're talking about generalizing all women. That's something
win.
you do constantly.
And I'm waiting
That's
for the
something that
example.
Fresh and Fit does. That's
Example.
something that
Give me
Andrew
the
Tate does.
example.
They generalize women.
I'm
I
fucking
already
right
have.
here.
I
Tell
already
me
have.
what I've
I
said
already
about
have.
all women.
The point is, I'm talking about the red pill community.
Tell me
I'm talking about the red
You
pill
said I do
community.
this.
I'm talking
You
about
said
yes,
I
and I
do
did.
it.
And I've already said what you've done.
When?
But you're denying it for some
Well, tell me
fucking
when
reason.
I've ever said all women are sluts.
Do you want to go through all your damn podcasts, man?
I would think if I did it, you'd have an example since it was pertinent
I've
on your
seen you
list.
do it, so yes.
When?
I don't know, 2 weeks ago, Andrew. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I've watched
you
a
don't
lot of your
know.
bullshit. I've seen so. I've
Okay, I'll
heard
tell you
your
what. I'll
voice
tell you what.
so much.
I'll tell you what. This is fair. What type of content do I do?
Mostly political.
Mostly political.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the number one type of show that I do?
You do debates, but I say the topic you debate the most, if it's not Christianity, it's feminism.
So you think the most popular content on my channel is debates?
I think so.
Okay. Followed by political commentary.
Sometimes you have political debates as well. We had a political debate.
Yeah, I know, but you just said political. Most of my channel is political
I
commentary.
think you consider yourself a political commentator. That's what you say every time you introduce yourself.
Well, no, that's not what I say. I say I'm a political commentator and what?
I don't know what the and is. I don't
Political
know.
satirist.
Sure, politics, as I said.
Political satirist.
Okay, so
What is
am I
a
wrong about
satirist?
being political? Am I wrong about you being more political focused? Is that are you
Yeah.
making a different point?
Well,
or
no, what I'm saying to you is that I don't actually think that you've watched my show.
I have.
I
I've
don't
also
think
been on
I don't
your
believe
show,
you,
Andrew.
Then what is the thing my show is the most famous for? The one show that we do that is the most famous thing we do.
Isn't it debating?
Nope, not even in
Then
the
what
same
is it?
universe.
Then what is it?
It's the TikTok invasions. That's
On
what
YouTube?
Yeah, that's what made us popular.
But maybe that made you popular at one point, but that's not what you're doing consistently. Every week you're mostly doing debates.
Every week, listen, I actually many weeks do less debates than I do invasions.
Okay, my point still stands.
And by the way,
that
political
the red
content,
pill
I barely
community-
do.
Do you deny that the red pill community demonizes women?
Yeah, but I want.
No. Answer the question.
I will.
No.
but I wanna
Answer it
finish
now.
this.
No.
I
No
wanna
more
finish-
caveats. No.
I want to finish.
Does the red pill community demonize women?
Yeah. No. But I want
It
to finish
doesn't.
this. No.
It doesn't.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. So I want to finish this real quick. Have you actually watched my show?
Yes.
When's the last time you watched it?
I don't know, but this week I obviously saw what you said to Pearl. I obviously saw what you said to that guy on the iPad.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't have seen that on my channel.
Yeah,
you saw it on her
demonized-
channel.
you
saw it on,
demonized-
you saw it on her channel, right?
So did you demonize red pill communities this week on your channel or not?
I might. No, I don't think so.
When you call them degenerates?
I don't think I called red pillars degenerates.
You literally said red pill content creators are degenerates,
So,
including Myron Gaines.
remember-
You even said you had
Yeah.
disagreements
You
with Brian.
remember-
You even mentioned Brian by name in that same statement.
Do you remember when I said that there's a difference between the red pill and what?
No, I don't.
Content creators.
You mentioned Myron and Brian by name.
Yeah, so I'm talking about content creators.
Those are content creators.
That's not the red pill. The red pill's a descriptor
You said red
packet.
pill content creators are degenerates. You're not talking about the packet being a degenerate.
Yeah.
You're talking about the creators,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So-
So the creators are degenerates.
so there's a
So you
distinction.
mentioned Myron Gaines and you
Yeah.
mentioned Brian
I didn't,
by name.
I didn't. Yeah. So here's the thing. Again, if you're talking about red pill content creators, there's a lot more of them than fucking Brian.
But we're talking
and
about the big
Myron.
ones. I don't care about the other ones. We're talking about the big ones.
The
The,
other-
ones that have the
there's
most reach.
other big
We're
ones.
talking about the ones that have the most reach, and that's these people. They have the most
Okay.
reach.
What matters is who's informing their opinions.
The content creators.
No. Who's
Yes.
informing the content creators' opinions?
I don't care. The content
That's what
creators
matters.
No,
though.
they're disseminating the message. That's what matters.
No, what
they're
matters-
disseminating
they
the
can't
message
disseminate
to
a message
millions.
they're not getting.
It doesn't. They're disseminating a message. I don't care if you learned about Nazism through something else. If you're disseminating it, you're still disseminating
the thing is
it.
that if there's hundreds and hundreds of red pill content creators, which there are, all you're doing is pointing to 3 creators you don't like.
The biggest ones.
No, first of all, the combination of all other red pill creators would be bigger than these 3 biggest ones.
Okay, sure, but they're the biggest ones.
No, they're not. The combination of the message that you're talking
Then why'd you
about,
highlight those 2?
It's not the biggest.
Then why'd you
message.
highlight Myron
You
Gaines?
highlighted them.
You did on your own show.
And
We can
when I
pull
was
it up
debating
right
with
now.
Pearl,
You did.
I'll
I'm not
tell you
talking
why
about
when I
Pearl.
was
I'm
debating
not
with
talking about
Pearl.
Pearl. I'm talking about when you were talking to that guy on the iPad. You said your sound's low. If you don't remember, it's because you're lack of sleep. But you were talking to a guy. I think it was on Tuesday on your own show. You said red pill content creators are degenerates.
I
You
don't know what
did.
the context is.
It's literally that. There is no context.
Yeah,
Of course,
there's
you're trying to
context
weasel
behind
out
it.
of this. Of course, you're trying to weasel
How
out
the
of
fuck
it.
would I know?
Do you want to pull it up?
Actually, I do.
Okay, let's
What
go to
show-
his channel.
What show is it?
Whatever you were talking to that guy on the iPad, whoever that homie was that you were talking to, I don't know who he was. I've never seen him before, but you were on the show. I think it was Tuesday, and you said this exact thing. I would love
I was
to
on
pull
my
this up.
show?
Yes, it was on the Crucible. I would love to show this.
Okay.
I would love to have this pulled
Let's
up.
show it. Can we
Is
pull it
behind,
up?
Is it behind your paywall?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I saw it. And
You
I don't
saw
pay.
it?
Well, if somebody in the audience can send us the clip of it,
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
sure. While we're doing that, Mary, can you pull up? We did the poll.
Send the clip.
We had 2,200 people answer the poll. Are you married is the question. 38% say yes. 62% say no, just because you guys were curious if the audience was married.
That's actually more honest than I thought it would be.
38%. All right. Here, I'll read some chats while you're looking at that. We have, Guy Sneen, if you want to respond, we got Skirbaderby.
Exactly. Emotional appeal after emotional
Yeah,
appeal.
I'm here for an emotional appeal.
This guy has been making emotional appeal after emotional appeal, but can't back it up with logic. In fact, he said, F logic. That's where he lost the audience. He won't answer questions.
Won't answer 'em.
Dude, you know that guys are bent towards logic, so why don't you make a effing argument?
The argument is a lot of red pillars are isolated, they're angry, they blame women, and they're dating less. I'm trying to help them stop doing that, and red pill content is pushing them further down the rabbit hole.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
It's not erroneous, it's literally factual.
That just so you know, that's still not actually an argument. That's just a statement.
Well, it's a true statement.
Well, but it doesn't tell us anything.
We got to get back to it, so were you able to find it? Or
No,
I'm going to move it on to
No
the next-
shock, you couldn't find it.
It's there, Andrew. If
Oh,
you
sure it is.
give me another 10 minutes, how about that?
We're in the middle of a
No,
live
he's
stream.
saying this
We're-
bullshit, like trying to weasel out
I
of it
bet
because
you
he
there's
doesn't.
middle of-
You know what, Brian? He doesn't want you to hear it.
Look,
That's the reason.
I want
he
him to
doesn't
hear
want
it.
you to hear it. Well,
You're a fucking degenerate.
he doesn't want you
He's
to hear
told
it.
me- He has
Many
told me.
times I've told him to
Okay,
his
so
fucking
he has
face
told
he's a
me.
degenerate.
So you don't deny that you said red
Do
pill
you
people.
know what I think
Hold on. So you don't deny that red pill content creators
Yeah.
are degenerates.
Do you know
then?
what a degenerate?
You just said it.
Bro,
you just said it.
Bro, do you know what a degenerate is?
I have premarital sex. He thinks I'm a degenerate.
I think that's
And red pill
degenerate.
content promotes that.
You also promote it. You're a fucking degenerate.
Okay, I'm a degenerate.
Wait, are you against
So, like, you
sex?
promote
no,
it.
but I think red pill people are. That's what I'm saying. You don't believe in red pill communities.
Oh my God! How many times do I have to tell you this?
But you're not red pill.
I'm
are
not
you?
a red pillar.
But you advocate for them.
No,
you literally go
bro,
on their shows.
I advocate for the red pill, not for red pill X content content creator.
Okay.
Myron Gaines having sex out of marriage, fucking degenerate.
Yeah.
I told him that to his face.
And what messages
Hang on,
are
stop,
they-
bro, my turn.
and what messages-
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
And
It's
what
my turn.
messages are they promoting? And what messages are they
dude,
promoting to their
here,
audience?
When you're done filibustering, I'll
And what
tell you.
messages are they promoting to their audience?
Wait. Okay. What message? Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah. So here, just so you know,
Are you gonna insult
I've
me
called
right now?
most of these guys.
Hey.
Okay, most of these guys, but especially fucking progressives like you, degenerates, because all of you who promote sex outside of marriage are fucking degenerates from my view.
Have you ever had sex
Do you
out of
underst-
marriage?
do you understand
Did you have
that?
sex out of
Yeah.
marriage? Oh, so you're a degenerate?
I was.
Okay. Good for you. You saved yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you? Did you have something else there to go with, like your little? Did you own me?
I don't
Yeah,
think-
you feel like you owned me on that
a little
one?
bit. A little bit.
New prompt. New prompt here, guys.
You feel
New
like you
prompt.
got me on that?
Yeah.
It was Andrew Wilson completely consistent again?
So, okay, in your TikTok bio, or this might be on your Instagram, you say masculinity, dating, and what women actually want, unfiltered.
Right.
What do women actually want?
I don't have a prescription for what women want. I ask them what they want, and they tell me. That's all. And I share that information. That's it. I don't tell them anything. I don't prescribe anything.
Well, okay, I'm not going to. Let's go over some of the other prompts then. You have men. Healthy masculinity is expansive, not rigid. Can you just define what you mean by that, I guess?
Where is that? Where did I say that?
It was in one of the, you said positive claims I would make in the debate. Healthy masculinity is expansive, not rigid. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I just don't subscribe to the idea that there's only one way to be considered quote unquote masculine.
So like traditional gender roles, you would say?
Traditional gender roles, you can be masculine in traditional gender role, but I think if you're not, that doesn't necessarily mean you're less masculine. For example, if your wife makes more money than you, I don't think that makes you less masculine.
Okay. Andrew, so the positive claim he makes is healthy masculinity is expansive, not rigid. Is that something you want to bite on? Or?
Yeah, but
Okay.
we'd have to get into semantics.
I don't want to get into semantics.
That I can't get a position.
No,
For,
because
for the sake of the conversation, will you get into semantics?
I hear what you're saying, but
do me a solid.
I get it.
Are you my homie?
We're homies.
Are we homies?
We're homies. But what I'm saying is, Andrew has does these tactics,
let's
man.
do
It's not
semantics.
about because,
Raphael.
but he's doing bad faith arguments,
you strawberry
Brian.
lemonade.
I appreciate it, but
I
he's doing
just-
bad
I
faith
didn't
like the
arguments.
strawberry
He's
lemonade.
doing bad
I
faith
haven't
arguments.
even made
you
an
like the
argument.
strawberry-
But you will. I know you.
So I'm gonna make. You're mad because I'm. You're
gonna make a
trying
bad faith
to
argument.
Stop me from preemptively making an argument.
Okay,
not.
let's get into it.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
let's do semantics.
So
Did you like the lemonade, by the way?
I
It's
just
pretty
want to
good.
know what
All
you
right,
mean
there
by
you go.
masculinity. What does that mean to you?
I don't have a solid definition. My general definition of masculinity, and it's very loose, is basically men doing the right thing because it's the right thing. And it's not the best definition because I don't think masculinity can be so defined.
What?
That's my definition.
Men doing the right thing because it's the right thing.
Correct.
What's the right thing?
Protecting people, being good to people. That's what I think is masculine.
Protecting people and being good to people. Mm-hmm. Okay, but what does good to people mean? What does that mean?
See, I'm not getting into morality. I'm not
I'm
doing
not
that.
even getting it.
But that's where it goes. That's where it goes, Andrew. That's where it goes.
No, I'm just asking what this means.
I gave you my definition. Move on. Provide your definition. Provide whatever it is you want to
Yeah,
do.
so I can give you my definition of
Sure, go for it.
masculinity, but you haven't given me yours.
I did. Go for it.
So
I did.
I just want to make sure I got it right then, and I'm going to write down every word. Masculinity is men doing the right thing.
Because it's the right thing, not for any sort of transaction or
Is
reward.
men doing the right thing because it's the right thing.
Yes.
Now, I need you to understand this. I know that you think that these are sneaky debate tricks, right? Even though I've sat across this table, this, by the way, is the first time ever that I've been in studio and had a one-on-one debate where it's even been slightly heated. And usually we start serious, where it's been a 1v1, where it's even been, well, no, with the two degenerates. That was the only other time. Literally, that was the only other time in a 1v1 where it was even
you've
really
never
heated.
gotten heated.
That
You've
one was
never
pretty
gotten
tame,
heated,
though.
dude.
It was pretty
It was pretty
tame.
tame.
No, I'm serious.
You've never gotten heated.
No, what did I just say? Can you even
In
repeat
a
back?
one-on-one debate, it's never been heated.
No. What did I fucking see? You're not even listening, dude. You don't
is
even
the
want to
only
listen.
one- this is the
I
only
said
one.
in this studio, this is the only 1v1 that I can think of where it's even gotten heated.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the case. And usually it's because I clarify everything before we start talking about it, so we're not talking past each other.
Yeah, because you love definitions. It's your favorite thing in the whole
Because,
world.
dude, how do we know what we're talking about?
you know what we're talking about.
No,
you
I
just
don't
wanna,
know.
Yes, you do.
Okay, masculinity is men doing the right thing. Okay, well, I think the right thing is for you to fucking, I don't know, punch yourself in the fucking dick. Now do it.
Great.
So you're feminine. You're feminine.
Okay.
Punch yourself in the dick, or you're feminine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you're feminine.
Good point.
Fucking stupid, dude. You have to tell me what these things mean.
Good point.
Tell me what it means. What does it mean? What is the right thing?
That's my definition.
What is
Go
the
ahead
right
and
thing,
define
bro?
your thing. No,
what is
I'm
the
not
right
doing
thing,
that.
bro?
I'm not doing it.
What
Tell
is
me your
it?
definition.
What is the right thing?
Tell me your definition.
You haven't told me
Tell me
anything.
your definition.
Tell
me your definition.
I think that masculinity is when men beat up women.
Tell me your definition.
I just did.
Okay, well,
I think masculinity is when men beat up women and kick them while they're down.
Well,
that's the only way to be masculine.
You say that in jest, but a lot of truth is said in jest.
No, it's 100. It's 100%.
A lot of truth is said in jest.
You got
a lot of truth. A lot of truth is said
you
in
got to
jest.
really get in there.
Yeah, joking like that is that's coming from a real place from you. That's coming from a real place. That's coming from a real solid place.
I mean, I would give you a definition.
No, that's coming from the soul, Andrew.
Yeah, I'd give you a definition.
That's coming from the soul,
But are you
buddy.
gonna ask me questions
That's
about
coming
the
from the
definition?
soul.
You gonna ask me questions
Oh
about
man,
it?
you really you meant that.
Yeah.
You meant that.
Yeah, and then you got to kick them when they're down.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You can't let the bitches up.
Yeah, it's just a joke, right?
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
out
a
of- they're
joke.
out of their
Yeah, a
fucking
lot of
mind.
truth is said in jest, Andrew.
Yeah. Is it?
Absolutely.
Like when you were before the show started and you were making Kate jokes about yourself? Is that where you tried to tell me something?
I never once did that. What are you talking
come
about?
on, dude.
What did he just really make that up just to say some bullshit
Come
on air?
on, dude.
Did I miss something?
No.
Everybody missed it because it never fucking happened.
What I'm pointing out to you, right, is when you're bad faith like this, I'm going to be bad faith back.
Okay, go for it then. You've been bad faith this whole time.
There's no, bro.
You're a bad faith debater.
Asking you about your proprietary fucking definition.
I gave
is the
you my
opposite of bad
definition.
faith.
I'm not going to go into morality because then it becomes.
We're not
what
even
do you
going into
consider-
morality. I'm just asking you what
When
the
you
right
ask
thing
somebody
is.
what good
Just
is,
asking you
when
what
you
the right
ask
thing
somebody
is.
what is good, is that not morality?
They define the fucking thing by what is good. Then I have to ask you what good is. You fucking dolt.
But that's what I'm saying.
God, you're
I'm not
dumb as
going
a
to
box
sit
of
here.
fucking
I'm not
rocks.
going to get into morality with you because it's the same bullshit every time with you.
fine.
This is your favorite argument is morality.
Then what? You should just look at the camera and monologue, dude.
I will.
I'm not debating.
I
You're
got-
just screaming.
I got a prompt change then.
Well, he doesn't want to define masculinity. He only wants to, pick apart mine.
You haven't even defined it.
Sure.
You just
But
gave
it's
a
your
proprietary
positive claim.
definition.
Yeah.
It's your positive claim.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, but I have to define it for him.
Let's do
I
this.
defined it.
I have
Let's
to
do-
define it for him.
I defined it.
You didn't, dude.
Did he define it?
No. No.
Or are
it
you not
makes it's
satisfied?
He's not
circular.
satisfied with
Listen,
it.
it's circular. Masculinity is men doing the right thing. That fucking doesn't tell us anything.
Because I don't have a very prescriptive version of masculinity. That is my general
it's
across
fine.
the board.
So then it would be
version
fine
of
for me to
masculinity.
ask follow-up questions about what the right
But
thing
I
is.
don't want to get into morality
But you
with
don't
you.
want to tell me any fucking answers to any questions.
Here, well, if you don't want to get into the morality, can you say, you said it's healthy masculinity is expansive. Andrew's got to take a little smoke break here. A little smoke break.
Because Andrew thinks masculinity is very rigid. If you don't fall within these guidelines, if you don't follow,
be nice. Come on.
if you don't fall within these certain guidelines, you're not masculine. That's Andrew's take.
Okay. Just bring the bottle of whiskey, Andrew. Do you want the bottle? Just drink from the bottle. Get him the bottle. Get him the bottle of whiskey. Let's see if we have. Oh, we got some chats.
Hang
Hold
on. Let me just try this again.
Yes. Go ahead.
If you are talking about something and making a prescriptive ought, in this case masculinity, right? What it is and what men should be doing with it.
I didn't say this should be. I said that's my worldview.
Okay, your worldview. Great. If we dive into your worldview, right? And you have a proprietary definition. This definition meets no definition of masculinity I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
Okay? Yes, so it's proprietary. You agree?
Yes.
So it's perfectly rational and logical for me to go through your proprietary definition so that I can make sure it makes fucking sense, right?
I don't care if you think it makes sense.
Give me a fucking shot, dude. I can't.
Dude, give him the bottle. You want the bottle? How much is left?
Probably that chatter, the one chatter is actually
is that a
right.
lot?
You might be
That's a lot.
the dumbest fucking person I've ever debated on this podcast.
And you're the most emotional wreck of a person I've ever
You'd
talked
be
to.
emotional too if you're. It's like arguing with a fucking kindergartner, dude. You don't even know what you're talking
Can you
about.
pass her the?
You literally don't know what you're
The whole
talking
point
about.
of
I
the
don't
prompt-
care.
the whole point of the
I
prompt-
don't care.
The whole point
I
of the
don't
prompt
care.
was masculinity isn't a rigid thing, and that's why I keep it very open.
Yeah, okay, it's not a rigid thing, but that doesn't tell us what it is.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. We'll do a couple chats here really quick, then we'll get right back into a prompt. We have Red Fox. Thank you, Red Fox. Appreciate it.
Red Fox donated $100. Andrew holds a deep veneration for women and their contributions,
And talk about it all the
particularly
time.
ecclesial traditions.
Deep veneration.
Feminist, what is the role and duty of women?
In fact, my religion, we venerate the Theotokos. You know, that would be the mother of God. But, you know, the thing is even though I talk about this all the time, discuss how much we need matrons in society, how important it is, I just hate all fucking women.
No, you see them as just breeders. That's what you see them as.
Yeah, well, it's just breeders.
That's what he
Do you
see-
think women have any duty to...
No.
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 Do men
Never?
have duties? Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
I shouldn't
Yeah.
be quiet.
Men don't have duties?
No, I think by my definition, they should do the right thing, but that's my
That would be a
worldview.
duty, you fucking dolt.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so
then they have a
what duty? So they have the duty to do the right thing?
Let's
That's
not
what I
do
think.
insults.
Now
if we
let's
can.
do insults. What
Andrew, no.
what duties do men have to do the right thing?
That's my worldview.
So
yeah.
they have duties. What duties do women have?
None.
None. Okay.
Okay, we have a couple chats coming through here. We got, where is it?
That
Jordan.
drives you insane.
Yes, it does.
Drives him insane.
Jordan Flores
Jordan
donated
Flores.
$100. Andrew, I'm sorry. As a member of the Mexican community, we don't claim the Fem de General Vivo El Crucible.
Are you part of that? Maybe
I'm half Mexican,
You could
yes.
be Puerto Rican. You could.
I'm
be,
half Mexican,
Okay.
but I would
How do you-
imagine.
he's apparently Jordan Flores is the representative.
Yeah,
of
he's
a
all-
member.
Of all
yeah,
Mexicans who
He's
have ever lived.
disowning.
He works in the
humanism.
consulate. Yeah, no, he absolutely is probably another one of these single people that are angry. So it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, you're married and seem pretty angry.
Between the two of us, I'm the one that seems angry,
Yeah, you
Andrew.
seem pretty
Between
angry.
the two of us,
Yes.
nice job, dude.
100 times the women you have, so his sample size is far greater. Shouldn't you defer to that then, since you love Moo studies so much? Shout out
I've interviewed-
Mr.
You've interviewed a lot.
I think 2,000.
Jeez.
2,000 women. I know.
That's a lot.
That was kind of misogynistic.
And I've been
What
here
have you
for-
learned?
Why
I've
did
been
you
here
say-
for like half
wait,
of that, by the
why
way.
Why did you say G's when I interviewed 2,000
That's all- I'm
women?
just saying that's a
You
lot of
seem-
shows.
That seems a bit misogynistic.
How so?
Uh,
It just seems a bit like, wow, you had to talk to 2,000 women.
I'm just surprised at the sheer
That just
number of
seems a
women you've
little-
talked to.
No, the way it came across.
Sure, but I'm explaining.
Was it was like, I'm sorry
No,
that you had
it
to
wasn't
do that.
It wasn't
Brian.
that. I'm just asking
Okay,
you what
my
you've
bad.
learned in those 2,000 interviews. What have you learned?
From them.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
About women.
Not much.
No?
Just kidding. I've learned a lot.
Yeah?
I've learned a ton.
What have you learned? Share something.
Ask me at the end of the show,
Okay.
and I'll tell you. I shouldn't be too involved in the convo.
Hey, you donated $100. The red pill
Thank
isn't
you.
the problem. It's a symptom of a larger issue where men have had negative experiences with modern women and are still villainized. We find solidarity in our collective awakening.
Thank you, hey you. This is exactly what I think is an honest assessment of what happens. I said in my opening statement that red pill communities prey on men's rejection. They prey on men's anger. And I think that's true. And I think they do find community in red pill. I really do. And I think that's why they flock there. But I don't think it's effective for them. I think it's keeping them lonely, isolated, and angry. And they're not dating. So if it's not working, let's look for an alternative. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
Here, let's get into that. What's the alternative?
That's what we've been trying to get into this whole time. But you're
I'm
trying to do
waiting.
some other
What's-
bullshit semantic definition game.
Okay. Listen, me asking you what masculinity is, and you saying fulfilling the general societal good, fucking is meaningless.
Okay.
It is meaningless.
Okay, because I didn't come here to necessarily to talk about that. I came here to
Yeah,
talk
but
about
I
the
mean,
red pill community
this
is
is your
destroying
worldview.
men's
Debates
Yeah.
are about worldviews.
No,
dude.
debates. You play debate club, and I'm not here for that.
Dude, it's not debate club.
You
it's
try
just
to win.
a
No,
debate.
you try to win debate points. Like there's some judges out there. That's what you do,
Bro,
You're not trying to have a real conversation about shit.
Yeah, I agree that I want my worldview to win, and I want my worldview to win a debate. But the thing is like, I don't even know what your worldview is because you can't explain it.
So your worldview is the red pill is working for men? Is that your worldview?
No.
Well, that's what we're here arguing.
Okay, if you want to do an internal critique of Christian ethics and my worldview, I'm happy to do that.
We came here to talk about the red pill and manosphere community.
Yes, and so when you're asking me about the red pill, what have I told you it is?
You said it's a data packet.
Yes, and so I can utilize, and Christians can utilize this data packet as well, right? And we can introduce it through Christian ethics in a prism that helps men, right?
Only through Christian ethics?
That's what I would prescribe.
Yeah, but most people in red pill communities aren't Christian Orthodox.
They don't have to be Christian Orthodox.
Okay, well the point is the red pill community helping
Do you
men or is it
realize-
hurting? Hold on,
Yeah.
is the red pill community helping men or is it hurting them in your opinion?
Ultimately, I
Yes.
think it's more helpful than it's bad.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would like to know what the alternative is.
Turn off the red pill, at least for now. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I
but
got.
what's the alternative to it, though?
I don't know. Consider trying to ask a girl out. Maybe.
Yeah, they never thought of that.
They're not doing it, Andrew.
Yeah, dude. Bro, you literally just said with that chatter that you agreed with his definition of what it was, what the problem was.
I didn't say anything about definition.
Hang on. That the way he said the problem was, which is that they had bad experiences with women.
Correct.
That means they're asking them out.
Not necessarily.
Then how are they having bad experiences with them?
Maybe they're not getting success on dating apps. I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going up to women in the street and asking them out.
So they're having issues approaching women.
Yes.
They're having issues
men feel
dating
rejected.
with women.
Yes, men feel rejected.
So what's the alternative?
The alternative is hopefully more positive content coming out. I hope my channel helps. I hope other channels help.
It's not telling me anything. What's the alternative?
I don't have the definite alternative, but I think the point is the red pill community is hurting men. The red pill community is hurting people. That's all I'm talking about.
But you said you were here to discuss the alternatives.
I didn't say. When did I say I was here to discuss
I literally
the
just wrote down alternative because you said, right, I have an alternative.
I said seek out alternatives.
What's the alternative?
I don't know, but there's not the red pill. If it's not working, get away from it. If it's poison, stop taking it. That's the first fucking step. Would you agree?
Not a single alternative?
If you're taking, like I said,
you haven't demonstrated.
There's positive masculinity podcasts out there that I would recommend listening to.
Whoa, really? Wait. Positive masculinity?
Correct.
Okay, what is that?
Not the rigid sense that the red pill prescribes.
Anything
counter the red pill. Anything. Okay, I'll just call it blue pill for the sake of your stupid definitions. I'll call it blue pill.
And
Listen to blue pill.
what is that?
The opposite of red pill. How about that?
Okay, well, what are they saying?
They're saying don't take the red pill. That's what they're saying.
Okay, got it. So let me ask you a question. This is a cool red pill talking point.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you can refute it. Do you think that that men care about body count?
I think some of them do.
Yeah, would you?
No,
you wouldn't care?
I wouldn't.
If she had fucked 20,000 guys?
If I loved her, I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care? 30?
There's no number. If I love somebody, I'll care. I don't care.
Yeah. What if she had sucked 20 guys' dicks at once?
Do you think that's going to change my answer?
I'm just curious.
I've already answered it. If I cared about somebody, I don't care.
No matter what?
Correct. As long as I don't have an STD, I don't care.
Do you think it's a legitimate preference that men have that they don't want women with high body counts?
I think any preference is legitimate. If somebody has a preference, they have a preference.
Okay. So do you think that that's a legitimate preference?
Sure. I said any preference is legitimate. Remember when I said that?
And then what do you think most men would consider a high body count to be?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Okay.
How would I know that?
Okay. Fair enough. Do you think that most men would maybe consider 10 would probably be pretty high?
Not necessarily. No. Not in 2025. No.
You don't think so?
I don't.
You don't think that men would have a preference against being with a woman who's fucked 10 different dudes
I think
before them?
some men would, but not all men.
Yeah. So the men who would find that revolting, what do you think they should do in 2025 when you just said there's not very many women who haven't had that?
Fine. I didn't say there's that many women that haven't had that. I'm saying that isn't necessarily such a high body count for some people. I didn't say every woman has that body count.
I didn't say every.
Well, then they should find somebody that doesn't have that body count. That's what they want.
What if but what if it's the case that an overwhelming majority of women have that body count?
Then men are shit out of luck, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
So how are you helping them?
I'm saying that I don't think that's the case. If that is the case and men don't want to change their preference, then they won't find anyone to date.
So you're saying that if they have a preference against this, that they should just change their preference.
I didn't say that.
So what should they do?
If every woman is disqualified, then they're not going to date.
So if it is the case then that promiscuity increases in society, which that's what the trends are showing, you at least agree with that. Promiscuity, the trends show that has been drastically increasing over the last 20 years.
Like I said, I don't think it's that drastically different than it was when we were in college. So no.
Okay. You don't think that you don't think like OF has increased since you were in college?
That doesn't necessarily mean they're banging a bunch of other dudes. Porn has been around for a long time.
Yeah, but the thing is the individualized form of it has not.
Yeah, but they're often with their own partners and stuff, so it doesn't matter.
They do BG,
BV
with
has
other
been
people.
around for a long time. You remember
not
Jenna
at the rates
Jameson?
it has
You remember
been
all
now.
them? Like it's been around,
not even
dude.
close to the same
been
rates,
around,
dude.
Okay, it's been around.
Do you ever think we've been in a situation like with Zoomers where it could be as many as 1 in 10 women do porn ever?
Okay.
Ever? Fucking ever.
Okay. Those are OF people. That doesn't mean general women. There are average people getting married every day, Andrew. It's not.
Marriage is decreasing.
But it's still average people get married every day, even if they're decreasing.
Listen, it happens.
So
And
people
listen,
are finding these people that aren't on OF.
I agree that you should be going for good marriages, but
Why
here's
not?
where our problem. You should be going for good marriages, but here's my problem. My problem is when we get into the preferences of men. When you say we should be looking for alternatives. Let's have alternatives to red pill for men who have preferences. I disagree with you, and I think body count matters to men in a big way.
To some men, yes.
Yeah, and I want to know what you would tell those men to do. What would you tell them to do?
If they're religious, they probably can find somebody in their church that doesn't have a high body count. I'm sure they can meet people when they're young and in college, because college people are dating and getting married. There's probably younger women out there that if you date them,
What about
there's a lot
the
of people that get
30-year-olds?
married. What about the 30-year-olds? They're not all. I mean, they don't necessarily. Not all women have high body counts. So I don't. But you make it sound like they do, because that's still like your shtick. That's what you do, is
Yeah.
make men think that all women are
No.
skanks, as you
I'm just
said.
saying that don't you think that by the time most women are 25, they've had at least 3 sexual partners? At least by the
Maybe three.
At least 3.
I'll grant 3.
At least 3.
I'll grant 3.
Yeah. So at least 3.
I don't say at least. I'll grant 3.
You'll grant 3, but
Yeah.
you won't grant 5.
I can go to 5.
Okay, 5. And don't you think that once you start getting into those numbers, we're in like high body count territory for a lot of men?
It depends on what their preference is. I have no idea.
If their preference is that they don't want a woman who slept with 5 men before them, or had, and remember this too, a lot of these times you're sleeping with these women are sleeping with these men, they're long-term relationships, right? So you think that if men have legitimate preferences against all that baggage, right? You think they should be alone?
No, I think they should find somebody that doesn't have that baggage, if that's what matters to
do
them.
you think that there's enough of those out there for the amount of men?
I do.
Oh, you do, and you think
Yes.
that those women want those men?
I think average people get married every day.
Okay, well, that's not my question.
Well, it answers your question.
So then, how come you think that these incels can't find the women which are based around their preferences? Then
I think a lot of people either stay in their house and don't get out. They don't meet people. They don't ask people out in high school. They don't ask people out in college. I think that's a big problem with men today, is that they're not asking women out. I think that's a big issue.
okay, So we'll just finish with this real quick, and then I'll tie it all together for you. What do you consider a marriageable woman for the average man? What is marriageable?
I can't
to you?
prescribe that. I have no idea.
Well, what do you think the average man would consider marriageable?
Oh, someone they really enjoy being around. I don't know. That's what I think they're looking for.
Well, there's going to be some things that you would agree with me. They have to be like they probably have to be attracted to them,
Sure.
right? A trait like that, they probably have to be attracted.
Sure.
So
But attraction comes in many ways.
Well, they'd have to probably be physically attracted to each other, right?
To some degree, but personality and humor can win a lot of people over.
Yeah, but you still have to be attracted to a person to want to fuck them.
There's a lot of average people that get married every day, Andrew.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not attracted to the other people.
Okay,
So
but they could be
attraction would still be
They could
key.
be attracted beyond physical looks. It happens all the time.
Yeah, but the thing is like it's really hard for a man's weenie to get hard if you're not physically
It's really
attracted.
not.
It's not.
It's really not.
So if you're not, so you fuck women you're not physically attracted to?
I'm saying most men find most women attractive.
You think that men fuck women they're not attracted to?
I think they find most women attractive.
Yeah. So you think then that that men can just will themselves to fuck unattractive women?
It's called a slump buster.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men find a lot of women attractive.
And do you think they want long-term relationships with those women?
Yes, because they get married every day. Average people get married every day.
Average doesn't mean you're not attracted to them, though. You keep on you're making a conflation.
Yeah, because
so
I'm
they
saying-
have to be attracted at least, right?
Sure, there has to be some attraction, but
Yeah.
again,
some physical attraction.
sure,
Okay. And do you think that there's I don't know, an obesity epidemic?
sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so doesn't that lower the rates of attractiveness?
Maybe, but aren't the 600-pound ladies married? Aren't they married? Like, it can happen.
Yeah, but they're usually married to very, very unattractive men as well,
Well,
right?
they're attracted to them, so what does it matter?
No, they're not always attracted to each other.
So they got married just for what?
No. Sometimes it happens in the marriage,
Okay.
right? Sometimes it happens in the marriage. They
The
literally
point is-
grow apart.
The point is, people can find other people attractive. People want to spend their lives with people, but you don't want to push that message.
No, what do you mean? I'm just talking about basic laws of attraction. Do you at least agree there has to be a trait of attraction?
Sure, but if 600-pound people can find a partner, then I think a lot of people can find a partner.
1 second. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here.
All good. Quick little, guys, we're like 300 viewers away from 10,000 concurrent on YouTube. Guys, if you're watching, help us peak at 10,000.
So anyway, yeah, so back to this. So we agree that there's at least one trait. Are there any other traits for marriageable women?
Sorry, repeat the question. I'm not really sure.
We
what you're
agree there's
asking.
at least one trait. There has to be attraction. Is there any
For
other
men,
traits?
you're saying men need to find a woman attractive. That's one of the criteria?
Well, at least one we could agree on. There has to be attraction.
Some attraction, yes.
Okay, what else for a marriageable woman?
I think if they enjoy being around the person, I think that's a big personality, humor, like same interests. I think those are a big factor.
Yeah, okay, they enjoy each other's company.
Correct. That's a big part of living together.
Okay, but so they enjoy each other's company. What else?
I don't know. They have similar values.
Similar values.
They agree on similar household duties, things like that.
Okay, so I agree. I would say that one you nailed right there. Similar values is the thing that I hear the most from both men and women.
Yeah.
Right? Similar values.
Yeah.
So if you were to, like, I don't know, ask a woman, for instance, about her political takes, and they were completely the opposite of yours.
Yeah.
Right? You probably wouldn't want to be with that woman.
Probably not, and you probably shouldn't.
So, like, if you thought, for instance, that women shouldn't vote, right? And they thought that they should.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't date that person.
Yeah. So it seems like it's a pertinent dating question now.
No, I'm saying that in red
How
pill.
is that? No.
The only people who think women shouldn't vote are red pill people. So I'm saying if they can get out of the red pill community, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
think
but
like
you
that.
just said that preferences are a thing which are completely fine, and you have no problem with anybody's preferences about anything.
Okay, yeah. If these people similar values, if they're like, hey, I don't think women should have the right to vote, or I don't think women should work, then yeah, go ahead and whittle those people out of your life. Go for it.
So just to make sure, right?
Yeah.
You think that if it's your preference, that you shouldn't be with women like that.
What percentage of the population? What percentage of the population
according to
do you think?
it's the red pillars, and those are the men you're trying to
I said
save.
they're the only ones.
Yeah,
that might
and aren't
think
those
that.
the men you're trying to save?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but if their preference is to have these types of women,
but why do you
how
think
are you going to save them?
Why do you think they don't want women to vote?
Well, I think that they have good justifiable reasons for why they don't want anybody to vote.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Well, like I said, those are all the things that would make somebody, I think, viable. And if they don't match those,
so how are you gonna save these guys if they have these preferences? I don't get it.
then they find somebody. Your wife doesn't care about voting, right? You found somebody.
Yeah, I did. Do you
Yeah,
think
so
that
other
there's a
people
lot
can
of
too.
my wives out there?
I don't think there's a lot of yous out there.
Well, but there's a lot of red pillars, right?
Yeah, but I don't think every single red pillar thinks they shouldn't vote. The women shouldn't vote. You you landed on that somehow,
So?
and you found
Yeah.
somebody who agrees with you.
Yeah. Well, no,
I have hope.
She convinced me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have hope that other guys can too. Then.
Okay, so then inside of the red pill community, though, you do agree that there's like a massive repeal the 19th movement?
Sure.
Yeah.
And if they find women that agree, good for them. I hope they do.
But they don't. But they probably won't, right?
Okay. Well, then they're going to be alone then.
So then you don't really care about the loneliness of red pillars. You just want them to change their preferences.
No, I didn't say that.
To meet your preferences.
There's a lot of red pillars that might change their whole belief system after getting out of
Okay,
it.
go ahead. Change my belief system.
I didn't say I'm gonna
Why
change
is
your
it that
belief
red
system.
pillars should get with women who want the right to vote?
I didn't say that. That's not
So
what I'm
you have
saying.
no prescriptions.
I-
You have no fucking prescriptions.
Listen.
It's like talking. Listen. No, you listen.
No, you listen. You've
Give
been
me
talking-
a fucking prescription.
No, I'm not
I
giving
just
you a
talked to you like that.
prescription.
What are you going to fucking do about it? Nothing. Yeah, you heard me. You fucking heard me. You're not going to do shit. Not
What are
going to
you
do
trying
shit.
What are you trying to
now
do
back
here?
to this.
What are you trying to do here?
Nothing. Yeah, you wanted to come hard. We're doing it, right?
Well, coming hard by what?
You just said don't. You just said what are you going to do, right?
What are you? Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Dude, that is some insecurity. Because I wasn't saying anything about that shit.
Now, are you going to engage here or not? Repeal the 19th?
I don't think we should.
Got it. If you had a preference for it, okay, and a woman didn't, probably shouldn't date, right?
Right.
That would make it a legitimate dating question.
But
wouldn't it?
But that's not what you just said. You said I don't care about red pillars because if they can't find a woman that
Yeah, you want them to conform to your preferences.
I didn't say conform to my preferences. I said if they get out of the red pill community, they might not believe these things anymore.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Which would conform to
what?
your preferences.
I didn't say anything about my preferences.
I'm sorry.
If the red
do you
pill
think that if
community-
all these red pillars adopted your preferences,
No.
like they don't care about body
I don't give a
counts,
shit about my preferences. Who cares about my preferences?
Okay.
If they can't find a
So
woman,
then
hold on. If
give
they
me
can't,
any.
listen, if they can't find a
Give me
woman,
any.
if they can't find a woman that
Yeah.
doesn't match their preferences,
Yeah.
they get out of the red pill because
Okay.
it's not working for them. They might change their beliefs. I'm not prescribing a preference.
So-
I'm prescribing getting out of the red pill. That's what I'm
okay, so
prescribing.
can you prescribe any alternative?
Getting out of the red pill is the first step.
Yeah, that's not an alternative.
It is.
No, that's just that. Listen, it's like saying this. Your car is shit. Great, but I need to drive to work. Can you tell me an alternative car? No.
That's not the same thing.
Same.
I'm saying, no, it's not.
Same.
Okay, take the blue pill then. How about that?
Okay, what's the blue pill?
It's the complete opposite of the red pill.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything. What is it?
Well, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay, they'll figure it out. Never any prescriptions at all.
No, because I'm not coming here to prescribe anything but getting out of the red pill. That's all I'm doing.
Don't you understand that unless you give prescriptions for why that is?
Because it's not helping them. That's why.
Yeah, but you won't even tell us what the standard of helping them is. What is it?
If they're unhappy with the current situation they're in because of the communities they're listening to, get out of it.
Then
That's
tell
what I'm
us
trying
what
to say.
the alternative community they'll be happy in is.
First, throw up the red pill. That's the first step.
Oh my God!
Then we'll figure
if you're
it out
not happy
from there.
with your shitty car, then just get rid of the car. Well,
Okay.
what do I get in? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yep.
Stupid.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
It is.
It's so dumb.
You have no alternatives.
It's so dumb. Yeah.
No prescriptions.
Keep prescribing the red pill then. Keep prescribing it. It's working for them.
I prescribe Christian ethics.
You also prescribe the red pill.
No, I just say that there's things about the red pill. You asked me a specific narrow question. Has it done more good or more bad? I think it's done more bad. That doesn't mean it's a prescriptor that I prescribe, because I also understand it does more good than bad.
Okay, well, you personally don't, but the communities themselves do, and the content creators do.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with literally fucking
It
anything?
has to do with what I came here to do.
Oh, okay. What did you come here to do again?
To try to convince as many red pillars to get out as
Do
possible.
you think you're doing that?
I don't know. Maybe some people are
Do
listening.
you think you're doing that?
I don't know. Maybe some of them might say, you know what, it isn't working for me. I'm going to get out. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
You would have been better coming in
I don't
with
need-
a
I don't
pro-Christian
care.
ethics message, because that actually gets them out of the red pill.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it does it a lot better.
Yeah.
That's why Muslims do a good job
Mm-hmm.
recruiting out of the red pill manosphere. It's why Christians do a good job. Secularist atheists who say, no, I don't give a shit if a woman's fucking plowed 100 guys. I'd still be with her anyway. That just turned off every motherfucker who was watching this, I promise.
Well, that's fine. But if it is going to Christian ethics and that gives them a happier life and they're not depressed and they're not incels, then hey, go for it.
Okay.
That's a prescription.
Wait a second. So maybe we can agree here. Should red pillars go towards Christian ethics?
I'm not prescribing that, no. But if it helps them, go for it. If
Then that would be a prescription.
No, it's not. There's
It
several
is.
things they can turn to that aren't Christian ethics. But if
What?
that is one
What?
of them, I'm not saying that I don't know, but I'm saying there are other alternatives. If Christian ethics is one, if you said,
Okay.
if religion in general is one.
Alternatives, what I got here.
If religion
There's
is
other
one,
alternatives.
Yeah, there's several people that live their lives in a secular way that aren't depressed and incels. There's several
You do
ways you can live a
realize-
secular life that doesn't necessarily have this hard and fast philosophy that you believe in. There are people that can get out of it and choose a different path. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, all you're offering up is more feminist degeneracy.
Yeah, degenerate.
It is degenerate.
I'm not
It's completely
promoting
degenerate.
any sort of
What
degeneracy.
your worldview leads to is cohabitation
Yeah.
and single motherhood and degeneracy. That's all it ever leads to.
And what red pill content leads to is depression. And red pill content leads to depression, and it leads to loneliness,
You know
and
what?
it leads to
Here's
anger.
the thing. If you have to do the alternative spectrum, where we follow your view for cohabitation, we already know what that does to men, and it's way worse than if they never get married or if they do get married. We know it for sure.
Okay.
And your worldview, your secularist fucking worldview, feminist worldview, is what led us to this in the first place. It was the erosion of religion, the erosion of Christian ethics, the erosion of having a patriarchal society. We used to have 95% they stayed intact. Thanks, man. Oh, now you care about them so much.
95% what?
Oh, marriages used 95%.
Because women were legally and economically trapped in
Bro,
marriage.
you think this is a better system?
Yes.
Okay, well then why do you say you care about these men?
Yes.
You want them to be free of the red pill?
Correct.
Then why'd you put them in a fucking society where they needed it?
Okay, they needed it because of feminism. You're right. Blame women every
They
chance
did.
you get. Blame women every chance you get,
didn't-
Andrew.
did I blame women or
Every
did I blame
chance you
an
get.
ideology?
Okay, it's the
Yeah,
same
which
thing.
thing? No, it's not the same thing.
It's the same
you just
thing,
don't
and you know it.
understand
It's
how
the
to
same
debate.
thing,
You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
So again, this whole society, we had all of the things that you're prescribing. Men's health, really good. Women's health, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
And now, not so much.
Yeah.
Thanks to you fuckers.
Yeah, thanks to us.
So you want them to do the exact same shit. Same shit.
Yeah.
Cohabitate, have kids, let the woman take over when it comes to abortions, right? She can kill your kid, not kill your kid, totally up to her. You fucking deal with it. And if she has a high body count, just get over that preference.
Yeah, if the red pill's working
Fucking
for you,
brilliant,
if the
bro.
red pill's working for you, keep
Oh
it.
my
If it's
God.
not, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Your lifestyle the lifestyle of secularism, which leads to degeneracy, is what forced society into this fucking play anyway. So
You know what? I think a lot of men are angry that women have agency and they can live their own lives, they can make income,
yeah,
and
I
these
know.
men are just
I
upset
know.
about it. That's what it is. And the red pill was a good community for them to go to because they're
Yeah.
rejected and they're angry.
Yeah.
So the red pill is what it is.
yeah, so it has nothing to do with agency. It has to do with the understanding of virtues.
Oh yeah, it's virtues. That's the issue.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, man, I
Well,
wish
you
it
think
was-
you think that gender is nebulous. In fact, everything is nebulous. So when you say masculine or you say feminine, those are nebulous terms to you. But the thing is like masculinity is not a nebulous term. It's always been associated with virtue.
Yeah,
the
the world
same
changes.
as femininity, feminine virtues and masculine virtues.
the world changes.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like that forcing of the progressive ideology, exactly what got us here.
The
And
idea-
all you're prescribing is more progressive ideology.
Yeah, the idea that women wanted to, be lawyers and they couldn't 55 years ago. Yeah. We're
Oh,
forcing
no.
it down.
Oh, my God.
We're
Instead,
forcing
they
it.
took care of their
We're
own
forcing it.
children.
We're forcing it. Oh, we're forcing it
Oh
down
my
your
God.
throat.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Let me
God-
ask you this.
God forgive people
Would you
try to find
rather-
their own
Would you
agency.
rather this? Would you rather take away the ability of women to be lawyers if it meant that the human population continued to go because they stayed at home or were mothers? Or would you let humanity go extinct so that women could stay lawyers if they wanted to?
I don't know if a life is worth living if you don't have agency.
Can you
That's
answer
what I
my
feel.
fucking
I just
question?
did. No, I don't. I would rather women had the choice. That's what I said.
And all of humanity go extinct.
So be it.
Okay. I think that's the end of the debate.